You are listening to the Get Global Network podcast of the Ask Avani Show. You can hear the show live on Metro Radio, Saturdays at 3 p.m. GMT, 9 a.m. Central Time in the U.S. on Metro Radio.
Until you came to feel and you miss her, yeah. Nobody can do it alone. We need it, but he says she's putting pressure.
Good afternoon and welcome everybody. This is the Ask Avani Show. You are tuned into Metro Radio. Woo! We are back here live and in effect. I would like to say a good afternoon to everybody, one and all, wherever you are listening around the world, UK, USA, Europe. We love you. Welcome and good afternoon to Program Director Kay Rose.
Good morning, good afternoon, Avani.
Good afternoon. Ooh, yes, today's show topic, Kay Rose. I'm sorry, people, but you guys already know every week there's always something that inspires me to want to do the show. And yes, today's show topic is, will megachurches ever really catch on over here in the UK the way they have done in the US? What's the appeal about rock star preachers? And what really goes on behind closed doors? That is the question we are posing this afternoon here on Metro Radio. What do you think of this week's show topic, Kay Rose?
I'm familiar with it. Let me put it that way. And I definitely have opinions.
Now, how are you familiar with it? Please tell everyone.
Well, I mean, I think, and maybe you will prove this out in the show, but I think America is megachurch Mecca.
I'm so glad you said that. But I think over here they're trying to take over. They're trying to copy it, but they ain't quite catching on as much. But trust me, I'm sure they'll find a way.
Well, I always say, I don't always say, but I say a lot, you need to follow the money whenever you have some type of something going on. And this is one of the moments that I really believe there is a follow the money moment. It's a lucrative career.
Ooh, you said career. Well, lucrative is definitely right because people, just in case you are not sure what we mean when we say mega churches, don't worry. We have things to share and post for you to see, and you will be commenting. We know that. You know what to do at Ask Avani Show. Share your views. Let us know when we show you things. Tell us what you think. And I just would like to say, because just in case anyone who's just joined us doesn't realize, we are a network of radio stations, and the Ask Avani Show is broadcasting simultaneously, or simulcasting as I like to say, across these stations as well. Obviously, Metro UK Radio, Divas Radio, Divas on 24, Yes Sir FM, OCT Nation Radio, and of course we are here on Metro Radio as well. So big shout out to everyone who's listening across all these other stations today. We love you. Welcome. We hope you enjoy today's show topic because, have we got things to share with you? Yeah. Did you see the pictures I sent you, Kay Rose?
I looked at some of them, but as you know, in back channel, I've had a busy month. Just getting back to normal Kay Rose world. And so I'll be looking at some of them as the show goes forward.
Oh, David, you'll be able to give us your first-hand impression, and it will be your first impression, which will be quite funny to hear. Because people, I'm sure people, you guys just don't understand. When I put the shows together, as you know, I like to put my show together and do my research, and there's some things that just make me laugh. Karos, link one. I'm sorry. This is the one. This video was the reason why I wanted to do today's show topic as it is. Because when I saw this, I thought, okay, this guy is different. It's a pastor in what we are going to refer to, quote unquote, as a mega church. Okay, when I saw this guy talking to the congregation, I just thought, he's having a laugh. You know, most churches, normally, you see the pastor is up in a pulpit. This is the type of church that I've gone to in the past and I'm used to. You see him in the, pulpit, and he's sort of looking down on the congregation and he's giving his sermon. He's very calm. He may be either in some type of robes or more days, nowadays I think they put them in, they have a suit, This man, obviously, yes, he's wearing a suit, but he is pacing up and down right in front of the congregation, and he's just walking up and down, and he is boasting, and I'm thinking, oh my God, this man, when people talk about going to church and listening to the pastor preach, do you expect the pastor to be talking about material things, K-Rose?
Well, in certain types of churches.
Okay, let me put it like this. Do you expect the pastor to be talking about the cars that his children drive, for example, which he has bought for them through the donations of the congregation at the church?
Well, and first, no.
Okay.
And second,
do you?
they may put in what they have as a message.
Right.
They may talk about different things in the message.
Okay, but they don't. Do they usually use themselves as an example and boast and say, "This is what I have," and you can't do nothing without no money. You need some money, guys. Please, at Ask Avani Show, you know what to do. Go and look on the Facebook group page. Please go look because we are posted. Basically, this man is saying everybody knows his children because of the cars they drive. His family is very well known in the town where he lives because. But he said. This is the bit that got me and I just fell about laughing. He said that he got a new family pet, a new dog. And they were saying, yeah, it's supposed to guard the house and stuff. You know how much this dog cost, K-Rose? $16,000. I'll say it again. $16,000. Dollars. Okay, people. Okay. You gotta watch it. I was like, oh, okay. Apparently, this dog can speak, or as far as I'm concerned, because I think he was really boasting. Because who knows? Which dog do you know that can speak? Okay, cartoon dogs, Goofy, Disney's Goofy maybe, but not a real dog. I've never met no dog that can speak. So I'm assuming he meant to say that he thinks it can understand 3 languages. Okay, we're gonna leave that there. Mm-hmm. And I just thought, okay. and as he put it, he's got a $16,000 dog. I just think it's hilarious. People,
can I ask a question real quick?
Yes.
Okay, what was the subject of this message? Do we know what he was trying to
He was boasting
explain?
about the cars his children drive and the $16,000 dog. And he was basically telling the congregation that if they want to get on in life, they have to have money. You can't do nothing without money. And he was being very materialistic and saying to the congregation, he was talking about money, he was talking about relationships, but he was just, okay, he started telling people in the congregation, you can't do nothing without money. And then he was saying that people will bless him with money, and those that are jealous of him having money, they won't prosper, because if they're jealous of someone else doing well, they won't do well themselves. And then he was saying that the congregation will keep blessing him, i.e. giving him money. And as he was saying that, you've got to watch it, people. People were going up from the congregation up to the stairs, like the stage area, as it were, and they were giving. And he was saying this as they were doing it, that they wouldn't even know why they were doing it, but they just kept doing it in droves. And I was just like, oh my God, it's like brainwashing people almost.
Well, was he telling them that if you give me money, if you give, you will receive what is something that is said, you'll receive
that's what he was saying. He didn't say that in out and out blatantly, but that's what the message that he was giving is like, you keep blessing me as your pastor and the church, helping the church, and you're giving me your money, basically. And he was saying it, and they were going up and giving the money. People were laying up money and then going back and sitting down. People. I was just like, OMG. And then he was saying that basically, you've got to watch it. You have to watch it. He was saying a lot of women only marry their husbands for money. Okay. So if the husband hasn't got any money, then they really need to step up their game. Otherwise, they won't be getting no sexual relations, and the wife will probably leave them. People, tell me what you think. At Ask Avani Show, you know what to do. I just sat there for, this guy's different. What do you think of that, K-Rose?
Well,
would you sit and listen to
this is because we're talking about a subject that we're going to, I guess, delve into in many different facets of it. So let me put it that way. And so as we go back, even going back to the beginning, because I meant to ask you this before, what is considered to be a mega church before I go another step down this road?
A mega church is like, they have thousands upon thousands of people in this church as part of the congregation. I don't know, anything from 1,000, 2,000 up members, and it's a huge building, huge. And I'm sure, obviously, in America, you guys have got the space to build these things, so you can accommodate, and they got sound systems in this church, and the stage, and a PA system, and it's huge. That's why they call it a mega church, because it's the actual church itself is huge, and there's a congregation that comes every week in the thousands. Sometimes that's what they call a mega church.
And that's why I wanted to put that out there, so that some people that are listening to the show may not even know what that term means or what a mega church is. Some people may not go to church, so they don't understand
exactly.
what
But
that
I
is.
wanted to do it because as I said, and I saw those types of videos, and there's quite a few of these rock star preachers, as we're going to call them, quote unquote. I just thought, wow, have you seen this people? We did talk about this one a good few months ago. What was his name? Creflo Dollar.
Yeah, the man that needed a plane.
When I heard that name, I thought, hold on, why would you? What kind of pastor calls himself Dollar? I mean, even his name is talking about money.
Well, it is money. I mean, it's not even talking about money. It is money.
Okay, Rose, I have to ask you, because I looked at it and I thought, okay, these guys are on something different. But would you class it as a legal hustle? Because remember, what they're doing ain't wrong. It's not illegal. It's not illegal in the eyes of the law. They are. If people want to give them their money, you can't stop somebody giving money to a preacher or a church, can you?
Well, it absolutely is, and that's what political campaigns are. They are legal hustles. I mean, you have these people, and because we had the show last week about the homeless. Mm-hmm. If you just take a tenth of what is going to be spent on the American presidential campaign, and you just divided it up among the states, and you just gave that money to the states, you would take a lot of people off the streets, and you would have a lot of homeless people now having homes. Instantly.
There would, as you said last week, there would be no more homeless people, because the money is there, and if the properties are not available right now, then you can put them in temporary accommodation because you have the money to pay for it, and then you can use more of that same money to build more homes, isn't it?
Right, but it's a legal hustle.
It's more than legal hustle. I was like, whoa. Now, then you start to see why now maybe so many of these different people have decided to go into the ministry, as they call it, and become a pastor, become a preacher. But in my mind, that's why I've got the poster on my LinkedIn post, people. You can go and have a look for yourself.
Well, let me ask this. As we go through, and not to cut you off, but is it a tax free? Our churches?
I think so, yeah, because where did I have it? Link 3, K-Rose. Basically, I found this out. This is when I was doing my research, everyone. Okay, apparently, in America, this is what I found out. Please correct me if there's anything that I have misquoted but apparently, American religious groups are exempt from paying taxes, and they do not have to report to anyone or account for how they spend their money. Or should I say the money that the parishioners give them? That's how I'm looking at it, sorry. Because it ain't theirs yet until the parishioner gives it, right?
Right.
So basically, they are so rich, some of these preachers, that people are calling for the IRS, your US governmental tax agencies and others like that, to investigate them more. Because they're like, okay, hold on. But when you one of the richest ones is a guy called Kenneth Copeland, apparently. He lives in a $6 million house. He has a $20 million jet. Liz Creflo was trying to beat him. But anyway, apparently he's got a fleet of other planes at his disposal. And he even has an airport next to his house, people. Mm-hmm.
Well, you got to have somewhere to park. You got to have somewhere to land the plane and park the jet. You got to have that.
There you go. As far as he's concerned, all these things are necessary because all of them said, listen, we need to fly all over the world. And if people knew what we do for our congregations, they would not keep asking us, why do we need these jets? That's what Creflo Dollar has said in the past, isn't it? This is like, oh my God. But why does he need a $65 million jet? I don't understand.
Well, that's the cheap model, probably.
But I was it. This man apparently has a $20 million jet, but he's got other planes as well. And I'm thinking, okay, so please, K-Rose, please post so people can see. Link free.